This episode is brought to you by Vineyard Boise Church's 10th annual Summer Movie Night. Join this free community party on July 14th. This year's movie is Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. The movie will play on a 40-foot globe screen after sundown, but the field opens at 8:30 p.m. for activities, including bounce houses, glow sticks, and concessions. This free event is in partnership with Future Public School, Go Team Therapy Dogs, R2L2 Country Dance, and more. So bring your own lawn chairs and blankets to 4950 North Bradley Street in Garden City. Learn more about the Vineyard Boise Church at vineyardboise.org. That's vineyardboise.org.
Today on CityCast Boise, whether you're going on a first date or have been with your partner for years, planning the perfect date can be frustrating. That's why I'm talking with local expert Rosie Piper. Trust me, her viral date night advice is going to save you a lot of stress. Plus, we find out, is Boise a good dating city? It's Tuesday, July 11th. I'm Emma Arnold, and this is what Boise's talking about. Hi, Rosie. Welcome to CityCast Boise.
Hi, Emma. So nice to talk to you guys.
So you began posting date night inspo videos on TikTok, and your date night concept started going pretty viral. Walk us through it.
So the date night concept is very simple. We do 2 specific intentional date nights a month. My husband and I live together, so clearly we're spending more time together than the 2 nights. But these are the 2 that are on our calendar at the beginning of the month that we are in charge of planning. So we take turns of planning one date at home and then one date out of the house. And we alternate who is in charge of that specific date night for the month. So for June, I was in charge of our at-home date night, and Ryan, my husband, was in charge of taking care of our out-of-the-house date.
I love that because especially with so many people working from home and you're kind of around your spouse anyway all the time. And it can be, we forget to like actually do fun things and do dates. And you've been married for 2 years, but with your husband for about a decade. How has this helped you and your husband keep things interesting so you don't get stuck at the same restaurant for dates over and over?
Yeah, it's just given us, I think, a lot more creative freedom on dates. And we are huge homebodies that it becomes such routine for us to just like sit on the couch and watch our shows that we love. And we make dinner like every night together. And it just kind of feels like the same thing over and over. And so these date nights, even like just labeling a date night, like even if we do somewhat similar of a thing that we would normally do, it just feels different and it feels more intentional. And it's like given us the chance to go do things that we maybe have talked about doing for years and then just like got into our routine of like, let's just go to the restaurant that we always like go to and feel comfortable at. And so it's been really fun. And it's something that we look forward to now every month. And it's just very realistic and attainable to do every month.
I love that. And you're so right. Oh my gosh, I feel embarrassed. I feel like I feel personally called out here, ending up at the same restaurant all the time. Literally, we'll be like, where should we go? What should we do? And then we end up doing the same thing. So I love that you're like helping people be more creative this way. But so let's plan a date in Boise. Let's go through some scenarios. How about you have $50 and you want to go on a date in town? What are you doing? Where are you going? What are you ordering?
Okay, well, first thing, whenever we're on a budget, we always try to look at what we already have and try to see if there's things that we potentially have at home that we can incorporate into our date night. Like, for instance, last month, we were trying to be a little more budget friendly and we borrowed some pickleball paddles and went to some pickleball courts because that's a huge thing right now and played. So, of course, that's like a free activity to do. And then we went and got Blue Sky bagels, which is always like a mandatory thing in our house to get Blue Sky. We love their bagels, and it's always a really inexpensive date. Other things that I would look at doing if we were trying to be more budget friendly, especially it's the summertime, the farmer's market. We can go walk around the farmer's market. I mean, it's hard not to spend money, but like you can just go and enjoy like a free activity like that. Also, like going to the movies, while like the actual ticket price may be a little more expensive, you could still keep that date under $50.
I love that. Just sort of incorporating. I mean, I think we think of it as a date night needing to spend a bunch of money, needing to go somewhere fancy, but like grabbing your pickleball rackets, going out and then grabbing bagels is literally the cutest date I've ever heard of. That's so adorable. What about, let's circling back to your date night concept. What's a good starter, like an accessible at home date people could do? Like you said, what if people are like, I'm broke right now. We're super broke. We got to save money. Let's do something at home.
One of the things that we did at home that we did in January that was an inexpensive date was we made a photo book together, which is something that we actually do every year because, I don't know, we take so many photos on our phone and then we never see them in real life and they just get like totally lost in the thousands of photos that you have. So we sat down together and went through our camera roll and made a cheap photo book and then got that printed. But it was really fun because then we like reminisced on like our memories from the last year. I think that we made like an appetizer while we did that and then just made dinner. We'll generally try to just branch out in our meals. So maybe we'll make a meal that we've been like, we maybe had that meal out and we wanted to try our version of it at home or maybe smoke something on our Traeger or do something just unique that doesn't feel like the same like tacos and like breakfast food or something that we would maybe have during like a normal week.
Rosie, you are a genius. The idea of sitting down, making dinner together, and making a little photo book together is like the most romantic, sweet thing I have ever heard. And like you said, I have a million photos of us. I never think to do anything with them. And like, what a sweet little thing to want, like every once in a while be like, hey, let's print this out. Let's remember that we have so much fun together.
Yeah.
That's so cute. Are there any like hidden gems in Boise that you think are perfect date spots? Places that are just like maybe off the normal list people think of?
Well, I'm trying to think. I'm born and raised here. So I'm like, are these hidden gems or are these like normal places?
My gosh, yeah.
I don't know. Because I'm like, they feel like I hadn't gone to some of these. But one of our date nights that we did a couple months ago was we went to Away with Clay in Meridian, which is like a pottery painting spot, which I don't think I've painted pottery since I was like maybe 13 years old. And I was like, not sure if my husband would like it because he's not a very artistic guy. But I was like, this could be fun. Like, let's go get coffee and then we'll go paint pottery. And he ended up loving it. And we are actually going to go back and like probably do that like every season and try to just like paint fun things for the house, like a spoon holder or something silly like that.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. And then another one, we love going out for date nights out to Craft Lounge. They have a great happy hour. And then I think it's Tasso and Porterhouse have really, really awesome sandwiches. So we'll generally go there. And I've never really heard a lot of people going there. And we'll just go to a park and just like read and hang out together. Good Apple is a great spot as well. It's a tap house.
Adorable. Those are hidden gems. Some of those I haven't even heard of, which is that Boise thing or that Treasure Valley thing where you're like,
yeah,
what? The what? Where is that? I'm going to throw a suggestion at you and maybe you'll try it. A past guest of ours, the Maker Shop, you can take a class there and build a wooden spoon or you can build like a little cutting board or something simple like that.
Fun.
And I've heard a friend of ours just did a date night there and said it was so cute and so fun. So there you go. I'm throwing an idea back at you.
I love that. I've seen a lot of those like classes and stuff. And like we've one of those things where we're like, we should do one of those one time. And then like we just forget. But I'm like, that's a great idea.
This episode is brought to you by Vineyard Boise Church's 10th annual summer movie night. Join this free community party on July 14th. This year's movie is Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. The movie will play on a 40-foot blow-up screen after sundown, but the field opens at 8:30 p.m. for activities, including bounce houses, glow sticks, and concessions. This free event is in partnership with Future Public School, Go Team Therapy Dogs, R2L2 Country Dance, and more. So bring your own lawn chairs and blankets to 4950 North Bradley Street in Garden City. Learn more about the Vineyard Boise Church at vineyardboise.org. That's vineyardboise.org.
Well, you've been giving us so many great ideas, but like, let's zoom out for a second. Do you think Boise is a good city to plan dates in? What are we missing that could make it better?
I honestly do think that Boise is a great place. I feel like maybe I just think of date nights so differently too, because I'm like, really anything can be a date night if there's intention behind it. Like my husband could take me on the most normal evening date, but if he told me like, be ready by 5, this is the plan. I've like already like I already have the route of where we're going to go and what we're going to do. It would feel really special and like intentional. But Boise has great food. There's great drinks, great outdoors. Like outdoorsy like nature areas that I don't really think that there's a bad spot in Boise for a date night. And I think that really the options are endless. And especially like what we try to do to kind of not get in a rut with the date nights still is like just look at the season that you're in, because I feel like whatever season you're in, that can literally frame your whole date night. So if it's fall, we'll go out to a pumpkin patch. If it's summer, we might go out to the lake. Winter, we might go snowshoeing. And there's so many places just in Boise for all of those things.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Let's talk about that. Let's talk summer inspo. What are some dates that you want to try out here, like in this summer? Like, are you getting outdoors? Are you hanging out in parks? What do you have planned?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the summer. I love being outdoors and doing stuff with my husband. I mean, we're not huge hikers, but I just love being in the sunshine. So we're going to look at what we already have. My parents got us blow up kayaks. So we're going to go take those out to the lake this year and probably pack a little cooler and a lunch. And that's what we're going to do for one of our summer date nights, which I'm super stoked about. And like, there's so many good concerts in Boise this summer. I'm sure that we'll incorporate that into one of our date nights. I'd love to go bike the Greenbelt and go hit up some of like the breweries along the way. There's just so much. The beer scene here is really great. And like I said, the farmer's market, I'm dying to take my husband to the farmer's market and get some like fresh lemonade or something.
I love that. It's, it makes me think what you said earlier. I think just when you've been together a long time, just having someone, how often we are like, what do you want for dinner? What do you want for dinner?
Yes.
What do you want? I think one of the most romantic things can be somebody being like, I have a plan.
Yes. That's all I want. I want to be told what we're doing. Like, I don't want to have to make it up. Yes.
I love that. Well, okay, let's say you're celebrating a special occasion and you feel really comfortable splurging on this date. Where would you go?
Okay, we go to Chandler's. I love Chandler's. It's a great steakhouse. The service is phenomenal. The food is always really good. But we'd probably start the date maybe going and hitting up one of the cocktail bars in Boise and then walking to Chandler's. So maybe we'd go to like the Mode, or we would go to Water Bear Bar and grab a little cocktail. I just like to make a whole evening of things too. Like if we can make a date night like long-winded and have like hours of like talking and hanging out together, I like am so happy with that.
So you've been with your husband for 10 years, but do you have any advice for people planning maybe a first date?
Oh, that's actually a great question. I would probably try to keep it somewhat simple. I haven't first dated in a while, but I would probably just find yourself a really great restaurant in the area, and then maybe like I would probably want to go to like Fork downtown, and then walking around, you could like stop into like another cocktail bar or anything like that, or just honestly check out the scenery in Boise. Walking up and down the streets downtown is always a lot of fun. Or I would even potentially go to Garden City and hit up any of the spots down there. Maybe go to Yard Arm or anything like that.
Where was your husband and where was your first date?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I think our first date, I feel like we have two versions of this, right? I feel like our first date was like before we went to college. I thought that he was taking me on a date to the movies at the Majestic. However, he did not believe that was a date. But other than that, we were up at school up at University of Idaho. So I think one of our first dates up there was at Patty's up in Moscow. So
cute.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you're looking for a first date idea that worked out, our first date, my husband took me to Yenching.
Nice.
And then we went back to his house and watched The Handmaiden and
Nice.
made out a bunch. First date. Yeah, that's how Emma Arnold rolls, folks. But it was very successful, and we've been together since. So
That's beautiful. I love that.
so romantic. Yenching and a free movie. But like you said, anything can be really special if you put intention behind it. And I love that. And I love your channel so much. I really highly encourage people to check you out on TikTok. You're such a delight and you give such good advice. Rosie, thank you so much for being here. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much, Emma. This was a blast. Thank you.
And before you head out, Boise Dev is reporting that Boise is about to get 3 new date spots. When finished, the new Hotel Renegade at the corner of 11th and Grove will be home to the Wisconsin-themed Baraboo Supper Club, the popular Midwest chain Blue Collar Coffee, and a rooftop bar called the Highlander. The developer says they hope to open all 3 spots, plus the boutique hotel, next year. That's all for today here on CityCast Boise. If you enjoyed the show, we'd love it if you left us a review. It makes us feel cool and popular. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Bye.